texting you? Is he texting? I'm good. Come up. Oh. All right, Central Georgia, we are back on our Facebook live stream, still monitoring the last kind of leading edge of this system that is moving out of the eastern portion of Central Georgia. So we'll take it from the top. Our first warning that we do have is for Jefferson, Johnson, Lawrence, and Washington counties. So as you can see, this heavy line of rain indicated by the darker colors right here. I'll pull up the arrows so you can see what I'm talking about right here. Is continuing to move out of the eastern portion of Washington County, just east of Sandersville, and draping down into Johnson County around Wrightsville as well. So this is going to be the heaviest area of rain and the strongest winds that we are seeing associated with this. So this warning is until 1 p.m. for another 29 minutes right now. We'll take it down one step further, see if it'll pick out the right box. There we go. So right now, the eastern portion of Lawrence County over into the southern portion of Johnson County, Emmanuel County, Treutlen County, and then the northern portions of Wheeler and Montgomery counties. That is also just the same line of main line of rain that is moving through, and that is really creeping on into western Treutlen County right now and down into Wheeler County right around Alamo as well. So I'll take it down one step further, and here is our last warning right here in Central Georgia. Wanting to pick out the wrong box for me, but this is going to be for Telfair and Wheeler counties up here, not what you see up there on the banner. Let's see if it'll, there we go, right there. So as you can see, that line really stretching all the way down into the southeast portion of our viewing area, that one until 12:45, so for another 13 minutes right there, and then this one in the middle until 1 p.m. as well. So going to give you an overview of everything. Actually, real quick, what I want to do is show you what we are monitoring according to the National Weather Service. So where you see these kind of gradients of colors mixed together, so you see that definitive line in the green right there, and starting to see some light blue enter right there, indicating some stronger winds. If we do kind of see a little kink or a bend in that line, that is normally indicative of rotation. So the National Weather Service has informed us of some weak rotation down here in eastern Telfair, moving on into the southern portion of Wheeler County. We're going to monitor this pretty closely as we continue to watch this trek out of Central Georgia, but this is moving fairly northeast right now, so we are going to keep an eye out on this, but nothing really that I'm seeing right now that would be indicative of rotation of a tornado or any sorts, but I will continue to monitor that fairly closely. But want to just show you what we are dealing with all across the southeast. It is very widespread, not just here in Central Georgia. I'll take the radar picture off just so you can see what I'm talking about. All the way up to almost Charlotte, North Carolina, so the North Carolina-South Carolina state line, and all of these warnings draping down into Georgia, all the way down to the Big Bend area of Florida. At one point, it was stretching about 365 miles worth of severe thunderstorm warnings. I imagine that's even grown now as this looks to be a little bit bigger, but widespread effects all over the southeast. But not just watching this major line right here. Let me take the watch boxes right off right there. Not just watching this main line of storms right here. We want to focus on what's going on behind it. So obviously the severe weather threat is over for areas that are to the west of that major line of storms, but also you can see a couple green boxes indicating flash flood warnings. And if I show you this graphic right here, flood warnings for a lot of Central Georgia areas. So that is going to be due to all of these residual showers that you see approaching behind the main line of storms, and that is going to lead to more accumulation of rainfall. Where it's not as heavy, but it still is going to just add on to the major totals that we have seen across Central Georgia so far today. So just exactly how much are we talking? Well, I'll show you the 24-hour rain totals right now, and I believe the highest mark I've seen so far is 6.5 inches down in East Macon County. I believe that still stands right now, but a lot of these red areas are still above the 4-inch mark. Everywhere in Central Georgia is seeing anywhere from not even a trace of rain yet in areas in our far southeast like Montgomery County, only about 0.2 of an inch, all the way up to about 6.5 inches. Obviously, the areas that have seen this main line of storms have already had all these accumulations up to about 3, 4, 5, and even 6 inches like we do see in Macon County. So a lot of concerns about flooding right now, and also with this main line of storms still moving through the eastern portion of our viewing area. I'm going to pull up the tornado watch. As you can see, this is really a good indication of areas that are in the all clear in terms of severe weather. So obviously the counties that you do see this main line of storms still passing through. They are still in this tornado watch, and that is until 2 p.m. We have steadily seen counties ticked off of this tornado watch as the main line has moved on through, but we are not out of the woods just yet here in central Georgia. So let's take it back to the radar and take a look at this velocity once again, because this is what I really want to keep a close eye on. Obviously, we do have severe thunderstorms warnings all over central Georgia, and still kind of seeing a little bit maybe weak rotation associated here in Wheeler County, but mainly to the south of Telfair County, also a little bit of an indication of some rotation further down just to the southwest of Hazelhurst. So I'm going to continue to keep an eye on this, as this line has kind of had more of a general northeasterly direction, so that would probably clip into some of central Georgia right down there where you see that arrow pointing directly to from the box up there at the top. So going to continue to monitor the chat as well to see if the National Weather Service is feeling strongly about some things that we are seeing here on the radar as well. Again, we've been tracking this all morning, and we have seen severe thunderstorms all over the place. And actually, what I want to do, okay, it looks like the main line has passed Dublin. So I was showing that sky cam during the midday show. You could definitely, even in the Perry and Macon sky cams, excuse me, we have seen the sky cam shaking very violently due to all of these wind gusts that we have been having. So that is also a very strong concern of us right now, especially with these severe thunderstorm warnings. Yes, they are not tornado warnings necessarily, and we are keeping our eye out for those if they do pop up right now due to the rotation, but still severe thunderstorm winds getting on up to about the 60-mile-an-hour mark. Even saw gusts up to about 70 miles an hour here earlier in central Georgia, and even just outside of central Georgia in Lee County, we had a confirmed gust of about 93 miles an hour. So it has been a very busy afternoon, and the winds are very damaging. If you did catch the midday show, you probably saw lots of photos of all the trees down, and unfortunately we do have a confirmed death up in Clayton County, which was even out of the tornado watch. Further north, they did have a tree that did tragically fall on someone in their car, and they did unfortunately pass away. So this definitely does not need to be taken for granted, as it does inch out of central Georgia. We are going to continue to keep you updated until all these warnings are gone and we are in the all clear here in central Georgia. And once again, in terms of severe weather impacts, areas behind this main line of red that you are seeing in darker red, this is going to be the main line. After that main line does pass you, you will be out of the severe threat, but also the lingering risk of flash flooding and flooding all over central Georgia will exist with these lingering rain showers that are following behind the main line of our cold front right now. So we'll take it back to the velocity real quick. New warning. So meteorologist Alex Forbes is here with me, helping keep me informed when the National Weather Service is updating us in the chat. Really?
Johnson, Montgomery, Toombs, Street.
Okay. Johnson, Montgomery, okay. So we are monitoring this severe thunderstorm warning right now. Johnson, Montgomery, Treutlen, and Emmanuel counties. National Weather Service has indicated that tornado, it could be possible within this right now. So we will continue to monitor this velocity graphic for any rotation that we might see, or any kinks, like I've been saying, kind of indentions in the straight line of winds that we are seeing right here on the relative velocity. Let's see. Was that latest warning? Okay. So yes, they did want to let us know on that latest warning. They did issue the tornado possible tag on it, just to make sure that we are picking up on this rotation that we are kind of currently seeing right here. So I'll show you what I'm talking about with this arrow. Around the Mount Vernon area, we are seeing this indention, if you will, in this line right here. And when you're starting to see a little bit of light blue, that is where winds are a little bit stronger in nature. So when they kind of get into the more steady royal blues and the dark blues, that is indicative that these winds are strengthening in nature. And when they continue to make a little kink in this line and continue to push kind of this edge of kind of black and gray right here back, that is indicative that the winds are going in different directions and causing rotation on this relative velocity graphic right here. So I'll show you what I'm talking about radar-wise. As you can see, very heavy precipitation associated with this. A little bit of an influx of lightning, a lot more lightning strikes kind of piling together there as this does move through Wheeler County, kind of getting into the Montgomery County line right there. Also, main line moving through Treutlen County right now through Soperton currently, and then up in the eastern portion of Johnson County as well, just passing to the east of Adrian. But even out of central Georgia, this main line moving towards Emmanuel County area, Swainsboro, Nunez, Oak Park, and areas further down to the south. We're still seeing the main line just to the west of Mount Vernon, in between Alamo and Mount Vernon.
Look at that velocity there just west of Mount Vernon.
Yeah. So yeah, just west of here, this is what we were monitoring right here. And as you can see, continuing to kind of indent in that line, or that difference right there of the colors that you are seeing. In a couple light blue, that was the newest signature that you just saw that came out right around Mount Vernon. So anywhere in the Montgomery County area, all the way from Mount Vernon over to Vidalia, in Toombs County, it is looking like this is a very strong thunderstorm and has the possibility of turning into a tornado. So you will definitely want to be in a safe space as this does pass through. Will it form a tornado? Only time will tell. We'll continue to look at these as the radar signatures come out, but still nonetheless a very severe thunderstorm warning that you do not want to be outside for, and it is not safe to be outside for as well. But the good news is this is trekking through the very eastern and southeastern portion of central Georgia now, and it will continue to do so over the next probably about 45 minutes or so, as long as these severe thunderstorm warnings go out. But this is really our main concern right now, as this could be indicative of a tornado forming in the very southeast portion of our viewing area. So once again, Mount Vernon, anywhere on Highway 280 in Montgomery County, over to McGregor, Vidalia, anywhere around Oak Grove, Petros as well. All of these areas in Montgomery County, you will want to be in a safe space, be indoors, an innermost room with no windows wherever you do live as the storm does pass through right here, because it does have the possibility of forming into a tornado. Checking the chat real quick. Not going to leave you guys hanging. Alex,
if that does drop something, once it gets on the other side of Mount Vernon, that's going to belong to Savanas.
So as you can see, this is the main line I was talking about. The heaviest precipitation is going to be embedded in these red and dark red colors right there. So just to the west of Mount Vernon, really almost right on top of Mount Vernon right now is where we're seeing this main line right here. We were initially worried about a couple pop-up cells ahead of this main line earlier today, but now we have still known that the possibility is embedded in this main line, as well as there is plenty of sufficient energy to form tornadoes and very strong thunderstorms as we continue to move throughout today. So as you can see, still kind of warping a little bit, if you will. Right there around the Mount Vernon area, we are seeing those lighter blue colors, and we're going to continue to monitor this as it moves on out of the central Georgia area. But we'll take it back to the top briefly real quick, just to show you everyone else. So this main line really moving out of Washington and Johnson counties now, which is good news. All of you guys are in the all clear, but further down to the south, still seeing the main line move up in Treutlen County. So heavy rain and wind gusts, but then down here in Montgomery County, moving out of Wheeler County is the main concern right now for a possible tornado formation. And we will really just keep a close eye on this relative velocity palette that I'm pulling up. So moving out of Mount Vernon now looks to be at least the most circulation of winds, if you will. Not seeing anyone talk about the possible rotation in the National Weather Service chat, but we still see it right here. So we definitely don't want to leave anyone astray down here in Montgomery County. So once again, closer areas. I'll zoom it in, a very local view. So right here at, I believe that is where Highway 227 becomes 280, the intersection of those, that is really what it's right on top of right now in terms of the strong winds and that circulation we are starting to see just west of McGregor in Montgomery County, to the southwest of Higgston, and then moving out of the Montgomery County line over towards Vidalia in Toombs County as well. So any of those roads that I just named, those couple of small towns, you definitely, if I mention any of those, you are definitely going to want to be in a safe space as this does move through, as this is a very severe thunderstorm warning right now with possible tornado formation included in our latest warning that we have gotten. And this, once again, this box down here, this warning is until 1:30, so for another 45 minutes, but still nonetheless going to continue to move in a kind of east-northeast direction. That is... So the National Weather Service is noting of the rotation down in Montgomery County as well. They are going to continue to keep a close eye on that as well, just like we are right here. And this is also more of a general view. This is south of Interstate 16, south of Treutlen County, Soperton, and over to the east of Mount Vernon right now, trekking a little bit northeastward as well. So this is going to continue to move through the very southeast portion of our viewing area and part of this main line of storms that we have been talking about all day, embedded in the darker colors that you do see, the red and the darker red colors right there. So a couple flashes of lightning. We like to look at that because any lightning flashes that like to bundle up in a group is normally an indication of strengthening within a cell or a storm. So right now you can see a couple flashes of lightning, not seeing it blow up by any means. So that is some good news on that front, but still hopefully we can kind of get this kink to just really straighten out almost, and the winds to be more uniform in the green as it continues to move on out of the area. But still trekking to the northeast. I'm actually going to pull up the speed of the severe thunderstorm warning to kind of give everyone an idea of areas next affected by it. See, Emmanuel, Johnson, Montgomery. It's moving near east at 35 miles an hour. So I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to move it east 35. I'm going to move it a little bit northeast as well, as because that's kind of the general track we have been seeing it move. So 35 right there. Okay, so areas like Kibbe, 1249, Vidalia, 1 o'clock, Normantown, 106, Lyons at 111, Alene at 128, Metter at 139, and Parrish at 146. So a lot of these areas are out of our 13W viewing area, but a couple of them are still in here, and a couple of you are probably tuning into this, so I want to keep everyone aware as these storms do move on out of our viewing area here. So that's kind of a general timing of what we're seeing this little kind of minor rotation in this cell do, and we will check the latest radar reading. Still seeing a little bit of a signature of some sort of kink as it moves through and out of Montgomery County right here. Again, these warnings are extended until about 1:30, 1 o'clock right now. So still a little bit of time to go in terms of these warnings, but they are continuing to move on out of the central Georgia viewing area. All right, so this is really moving further and further eastward, getting the main line of storms, moving into Emmanuel County now, getting close to Swainsboro. So that area going to be impacted by some heavy rain and winds as well. Not seeing any rotation up there on our radar in terms of the winds, but also the northern portion of Montgomery County, even stretching into southern Treutlen County as well. Those areas are seeing some very heavy rain and also monitoring this rotation that we do see right here, right now. So I'm going to see if they have said anything else about this rotation. Haven't seen anything in a couple minutes in terms of this right here, but well, actually just got a picture. We just got a picture sent of some radar imagery. It's basically what I'm showing you right here. So when I take it to the radar right here, as you can see, it's embedded in this heaviest rain right here in the main line of storms. But then when you take it to the relative velocity, it is this little cell right here that is the light blue in the middle of all the green that you are seeing right here, nudged up against all of this gray and a little bit darker red color right here. So as you can see, this is indicative of winds moving in different directions, which does cause circulation and can lead to the formation of a tornado. It is not looking intensely strong right now, but still worth noting as it does move on out of the area. So. All right, and then what we did just have pop up right here, I'm going to pull up the radar. This is a tornado warning now for Bacon, Coffee, and Jeff Davis counties. So this has that northeasterly direction we were just talking about, and this is until 1:15, but also moving in that northeasterly direction towards the kind of southeast corner of central Georgia, areas like Toombs County, and further over to the east as well. So this is what we've been seeing all day, folks. It started down in Panama City early this morning with a tornado, I believe a waterspout that ended up making landfall. Not sure if anything was confirmed on that, but some videos that we were watching, and then lines and lines of tornado warnings popping up, severe thunderstorms, and that is continuing to be the case as we move into the afternoon and further into the eastern portion of the state. So a widespread event all over the southeast portion of the United States associated with this low pressure system that is moving through currently. So as you can see, the main line really moving on out of Johnson County now, which is good news. So I imagine they will take this severe thunderstorm warning away when some of the heavy rain does subside. And then also the western portion of Treutlen County also looking like it is more in the all clear as the main line of storms moves further and further to the east in Treutlen County. So areas like Gillis Springs still experiencing the heaviest rainfall, but you are on the latter half of it. So you will be in the all clear fairly soon as this does trek into the southern portion of Emmanuel County towards the Nunez and Oak Park areas. But still monitoring this in northeast Montgomery County right now. Not seeing any intensification in terms of lightning. That is the good news. And it looks like the signature has weakened just a little bit in terms of wind speed. Still seeing a little bit of indication of different directions of winds right here as it does trek on out of the area. But as this does, we will continue to see a lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings further back to the west continue to shrink in size and also continue to expand eastward as the main line of this cold front does lead these storms further to the east. So as you can see, widespread all over the southeast, not even just the eastern half of Georgia, stretching all the way into North Carolina now. So just to the northwest of Charlotte, all the way down to, I'll show you this, down to the Big Bend area of Florida. And a couple tornado warnings embedded in this as well. As you see, 2 tornado warnings now. They added one down to Atkinson, Bacon, Coffee, and Ware counties. So they are seeing some rotation down there. And yep, you definitely see it in the difference of winds further down to the south and east. But the good news is it looks like this area of rotation that we have been monitoring has moved on out of Montgomery County right now, but still a little bit concerning. And we still do have our severe thunderstorm warnings right now. So we will continue to monitor this as it moves out of the central Georgia viewing area. And again, not just concerned with the winds, heavy rainfall is leading to lots of flood warnings that have been issued all across central Georgia. And we do have a reinforcing kind of steady rain that is going to be following this main line of storms further back to the west, as you can see over to the northwest. You can see little green polygons that are indicating flash flood warnings, but a lot of central Georgia also in some sort of flood warning, as more showers are on the way to add a little more rain to the accumulation we've already seen, up to even about 6.5 inches in spots in central Georgia so far. So the rain and the winds and the tornado threat, really the main things that we have been concerned with today. Not necessarily an abundance of lightning necessarily, but still a good amount of lightning associated with these. These are thunderstorms that we are seeing right now. What do you think? So once again, we do have our 2 tornado warnings down to the south and east. That is down in Atkinson, Bacon, Coffee, and Ware counties, and then this northern one just right beside it in Bacon, Coffee, and Jeff Davis counties as well. So we'll take it to the radar right here, and not seeing any reports of a confirmed tornado. If it was confirmed, we would see it pop up next to that tornado warning banner.